And it's just like it's a burden, and it's just like you're always fighting and you're always struggling just to get by. And that's just the way I see it in a lot of people's lives. It's just like they're not free. They're not free, and it's just like whatever the Lord would want them to do, they couldn't do anyways, because they're so tied down, they're so burdened down. And I know Shane's talked a little bit along these lines, like in Revelation 3:17, where it says, you say I am rich and I have need of nothing, but you don't know that you're poor, naked. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just, I don't know why He's giving it to me like this, but I want to be one of those who repair the breach. I want to be one of those, the restorer of streets to dwell in. That's what I want to be. And that just come out, that's what I got out of Ezekiel here. What we'll have to be to, it says, and it shall be that every living thing that moves, wherever the rivers go, will live. There will be a very great multitude of fish, because the waters go there, or His Spirit's, His Spirit goes there. And we're going to follow Him. So we're going to get into a very great multitude of fish because the Spirit's going there, and it says they will be healed, and everything will live wherever the river goes, or the Spirit, or however He leads us. And then it says, verse 10, it says, it shall be that fishermen will stand by from En-Gedi to En-Eglaim. That's the best thing to do. They will be places for spreading their nets. Jesus told His disciples, He said, follow me and I'll make you fishers of men. So if we're following the Spirit, just like the disciples followed Jesus, if we follow the Spirit and we really do what the Spirit's leading us to do, then we'll become fishers of men. And that's the way I see this right here. It says, their fish will be of the same kinds as the fish of the great sea, exceedingly many. And you never know. When you're out there, you're going to be saving a lot of people. Some of them's going to be big fish. Some of them's going to have a lot of purpose on their life. Some of them that you lead to the Lord may actually do something great. It takes me back to that Israel Houghton guy. His mother was on the way to get an abortion, and one lady stopped her in the street and talked to her, and she got saved, and she didn't have the abortion. Well, now Israel Houghton, he's a pretty big artist. There's been several million people that buys his CDs and that's been saved under his ministry, and just by that one act of obedience by that little woman right there, it just shows me that you never know who you could be talking to in the Lord once the Lord gets a hold of it. But okay, it says, but its swamps and marshes will not be healed; they will be given over to salt. Along the bank of the river, on this side and that, will grow all kinds of trees used for food. It says their leaves will not wither and their fruit will not fail. They will bear fruit every month because their water flows from the sanctuary. It says their fruit will be for food and their leaves for medicine. And now that's just going along with the fruit of the Spirit. What kind of trees are we? Are we a good tree or are we a bad tree? Do we have the fruit of the Spirit, the love, the joy, the peace, the long-suffering, the goodness, the kindness, the gentleness, the self-control? Do we have those type of fruits, or do we have the fruits of the flesh? The works of the flesh. And this is a hard thing for me to give. And it says, along the bank of the river on this side and that will grow all kinds of trees used for food. And there's all kinds of trees along this river. And I look at the river as the Spirit, and the trees, I look at that as the people. And there's going to be a lot of people, going down, up and down through here. And they're going to be the people who's bearing the fruit of the Spirit and that are in the flow with the Spirit doing the work of God. And I just, I'm going to go to Malachi right quick. And it says, then those who feared the Lord spoke one to another, and the Lord listened and heard them. So a book of remembrance was written before Him, and those who fear the Lord and who meditate on His name. And that's the kind of people that I want to involve myself with, is who is your theys in life. I want the people that you allow, your theys in life are going to determine how far you go in the Lord. You know, they're going to determine how encouraged and how good you do. I mean, you know those kind of people that you talk to and your faith comes up. You know that it stirs up the gift of God in you. It stirs up the Spirit of God in you. And then you know those people that when they talk to you, they kind of pull you down. You know, they kill your faith. You know, I mean, so you can kind of tell the difference. So, you know, I want to get with the people who fear the Lord and they speak to one another. And, you know, and when we speak to one another, I want to speak about what God is doing now. I want to speak about, you know, hey, God's awesome. You know, hey, God's doing a great work in your life. You know, hey, God's going to take you places. You know, I want to have something good to say about the people that I'm talking with and to stir that spirit up within them. Because, well, I tell you, my mouth is about as dry as I don't know what. You got something. I hate to ask, but yeah, bless Lord and mercy. But all right. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, sir. But it says, then they who feared the Lord spoke to one another, and the Lord listened and heard them. So a book of remembrance was written before him, and those who fear the Lord and who meditate on his name. You know, the Bible says what? Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are noble, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of a good report, if there be any virtue and if there be anything praiseworthy, then meditate upon these things. And you know, it says, then those who feared the Lord spoke to one another. And that's the one who meditate on his name. And it's just like the one in Psalms. It says, he shall be like a tree. You know, in his law does he meditate day and night. And you know, there's a lot of stuff on meditation. You know, and that's just me thinking on the Lord, thinking good thoughts, you know, thinking on the things that are pure and peaceable and of a good report. You know, and if I ain't gotten something good to say about somebody, I'm not going to say it. You know, I'm not going to just, you know, death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat its fruit thereof. You know me, I'm going to speak life. I want to speak life. I know there's situations out there where, you know, you gotta correct people and you gotta, you know, kind of get them steered in the right direction. But I want to speak life over them. I really do, because I found out that, you know, they're in such a mess out here in this world. You know, they've been beat down so much, and it's just like everybody don't show them love. You know, that it's just like if we walk in love, you know, and have the mind of Christ. You know, what did Christ do? You know, he walked with the sinners. You know, he walked with the tax collectors. You know, and he was an example to them. You know, it says those who are well have no need of a physician, but those who are sick, you know, they have a need of a physician. You know, and that's the way I see it too. But anyways. Oh, I'm so nervous. Lord have mercy. And really, that's about the gist of that, but I have something else for you too. And I feel like it's for this hour. And it's in Luke chapter 10. And it's basically, these two messages are really basically the same thing, you know, about going out. But we'll go ahead and read this. It's Luke chapter 10, verse 30. And I have the New King James, so that's what I'm going to read out of. And everybody's turning there. I'm going to get me a drink. Okay, it says, Then Jesus answered and said, A certain man went down from Jerusalem to Jericho, and fell among thieves, who stripped him of his clothing, wounded him, and departed, leaving him half dead. Now it says, now by chance a certain priest came down that road.